Coming up on tonight's episode of Don't Panic, we've got a lot of great tech stories to talk about, including who won the console wars, Microsoft making Windows Phone apps available for your phone, Kindle allowing you to get books in-app. We also talk about Google's Buy Now, Windows and Cortana, and a whole lot more tech news. It's a great episode, and it's Don't Panic coming up right now. This is Don't Panic, episode number 74, recorded December 15th, 2014, on Buying Now, Custom Faces, and the Amazon Negotiator. And there we go, and as I fade out the music with the right mixer. Okay, hello, and welcome to another edition of Don't Panic, the technology podcast that 4 out of 5 dentists recommend because the fifth is an idiot. I am Sean Jennings, and I am joined by the Michael McDonald of technology. That's right, we loved him in a group, but we love him just as much solo. It is Colby Rabideau. Sir, what is going on?
This might be a dumb question, but who's Michael McDonald? Is he Ronald McDonald's father?
That would probably be cooler. Michael McDonald was the singer in the Doobie Brothers who went on to have a successful solo career. You would know him as the Hurt No Mountain High.
Oh,
you know.
I had no idea he was in the Doobie Brothers.
Most people don't realize that.
That blows my mind.
Yeah. Wait.
There are so many
right?
music things like that, and I don't know.
No, I'm just going to double check because that's the kind of thing I would get absolutely wrong.
Just completely made up.
According to Wikipedia, he is a soulful baritone, and the Doobie Brothers and Steely Dan as well.
Whoa!
So very taking it to the streets, taking it to the streets. Wonderful years. I love Michael McDonald. And I love the show. So what's going on, Colby?
Not too much. I'm just chilling. I'm trying to think if I have any news, and I don't. It's almost Christmas. That's exciting.
Have you done all your shopping?
Yeah, from the couch. I ordered a bunch of things on Amazon.com, and I shipped them to my parents' house so I don't have to carry them home on the train.
Oh, that's a great strategy.
Yes. Yeah, I saw them yesterday. I was like, there are some boxes that are going to arrive at the house. Don't open them. Yeah, so that was pretty solid. I did order a couple of things on Etsy that have not yet shipped, which makes me nervous.
Yeah, it's scary when you do Etsy because you're ordering it directly from, the people. Right.
Which is cool, but sometimes stressful.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm trying to think. I ordered, I think, one thing that wasn't Amazon.
Yeah.
And it was Best Buy, and to be honest, as long as you don't interact with people, Best Buy's not a terrible experience. Their people are awful, but their website, not bad.
Fair enough. So there was a Best Buy pretty close to me, and I walked by it this weekend, and apparently it's closed. It's just gone.
We're not a business.
I do remember walking by a couple weeks back and like looking in and noticing like half the shelves were completely empty. But yeah, now it's gone. I guess it was not the Best Buy.
No, it was not. Well, very good.
The best return.
Yeah, exactly. The best bankruptcy. Wonderful. Well, we've got a host of exciting stories to talk about. I will remind all of you out there, we do the show Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, live on our website, don'tpanic.io, when YouTube isn't in maintenance, like it is tonight. So we're not live tonight, but you can always get the recorded versions on the website, don'tpanic.io. Audio, video, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, RSS, it's all on the website. Social media, Facebook, Twitter. Just go to the website. It's our one-stop shop, and I want to remind everyone through the month of December, I've got these fantastic Don't Panic stickers. Look at those, beautiful. I got you don't get a whole sheet, you get a couple. But I've got Don't Panic. We've got these are circle ones, so with the button logo, we got change mode. Look at those, beautiful. coffeeandbeer.tv/giveaway. It's a short form. I just need your email address so I can get your physical address. I will mail you stickers. What are stamps today? Like $3 a stamp? I don't even know. Is the Postal Service still in business? I'll have to find out.
I don't know.
But I will send you stickers. So coffeeandbeer.tv/giveaway now through the end of the month. So time is running out.
It's exciting times. I'm still waiting for my stickers.
I have not. I'm going to wait and do all of them. I promise you'll get yours. Maybe I'll hand deliver yours, Colby. How's that?
That's true. I feel like we're gonna see each other in the next like 3 weeks. So.
That is right. So I will make sure you get a whole bunch.
It might get here sooner than if you mailed it. Who knows?
That's true. Maybe I'll make them party favors. We'll see. Well, we've got a lot of tech news. Colby, any particular story you want to jump on, or spin the wheel?
The Android watch faces look pretty cool, actually.
All right, let's talk about that Android Wear. We've mentioned it on the show before. Google's and Android's venture into the smartwatch category. Well, they've been to be honest, they've been pretty good about pushing updates. We've seen a lot of slow and steady feature updates, which is important on a new device. Well, they pushed a new update this week, bringing watch faces to the Play Store. So one of the big things I think of any smartwatch is the ability to customize the face. That's the advantage of it being a digital screen. Well, Google has rolled out a brand new section of Play Store dedicated to hosting watch faces. They've got all kinds of design, including professional designers, a Pac-Man watch, kind of branded watch themes, and a watch face API, so anyone can create their own watch face to put on your watch. They also want to add that there is a new Android Wear smartphone app just for the watch. It makes browsing, downloading, and switching watch faces easy. The app will also keep track of your battery and storage usage of your watch. And on the watch itself, they've made a few other tweaks, including how you get notifications and a theater mode that keeps the screen off and mutes notifications when in a dark room, in case you're at a movie theater. And I'll put up here on the screen, for those of you watching the video version, some of the various watch faces that they've launched with.
So, I was just looking through all the pictures.
I mean, they look good.
Yeah, they do look cool. I'm sure these are all the good watch faces. I'm sure there'll be some really delightful, like, third-party watch faces. I imagine the watches will now be like MySpace.
Oh, where everyone's just going to way over-personalize it?
Yeah. And they'll play music when you look at them.
Auto-playing watch faces.
Mm-hmm.
That's lovely.
That's the dream.
I think this is really neat. I will say the one thing the one reason I would consider an Android watch over the Pebble I have, because I love my Pebble, is the e-ink screen for something like a colored watch face or a more interactive watch face. It really limits you, and it's a smaller screen.
Right.
For apps and stuff, I don't think I need that, but I do think these watch faces look really great in color, and really great, especially on the round watches. And
I think the round watches are really cool. Like I don't know. If I were gonna get a watch, at least right now, I would get a round watch because I think they look nice. One of the people I work with got a watch. The nice looking Motorola, the Moto 360.
Yes.
On Black Friday, and it looks pretty cool in real life.
Yeah, the watches are constantly getting better. I know they published the reviews this week of the new Asus watch, which the name escapes me. But Asus put out their watch, and it got really, really positive reviews. And it's a beautiful looking watch. I think Android Watch so far, at least, has done a pretty good job, I think, of being a solid watch, of improving the battery life, adding features and functionalities. People request them. I think that's really been good for them.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Like I was thinking about I feel like if developers can actually like do stuff with the watch face other than make it a picture or something, which some of these things seem to suggest, like the surf one or something. It seems to suggest like this can do more than just show a clock with a picture under it. So I think that's pretty awesome. Because I could imagine like something I need to know, like one thing that I need to know frequently. I don't know, but I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's just good that they're opening it up and letting users and developers figure out what people need. I know on my Pebble, the watch face I use most commonly, it's got, it does the time and the date and the temperature, but it also has like a little picture over it, that's the weather. So if it's cloudy, it shows clouds, and if it's raining, it shows the clouds with rain, and if it's snow, and it updates when the weather changes. Which is really nice if I'm not near a window or something and I check my watch, I can see, oh shoot, it started snowing or raining or what have you. And I think even that little bit of functionality is useful. And I think even more so on a kind of full color, larger screen watch. So, I don't think it's a surprise they rolled this out. I think it's overdue, but I think there's a lot of exciting things. And this is something I don't see Apple doing.
Having like customizable watch faces.
Yeah, I feel like they're such a UI focused company. I'd be very surprised if they opened up that big a piece of the UI.
Wasn't that part of it? Aren't there different? I'm gonna look right now. It definitely, like, at the very least, it ships with.
Oh, there might be options that Apple creates. But will they have a store?
Yeah, like will it
can
be?
Developers make their own?
I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't immediately. You know what I mean?
It says here, each watch comes with a variety of faces. From traditional designs to playful characters to visualizations of time, blah, blah, blah. Most faces are extensively customizable. You can change colors, design elements, add functionality. It does not say... Yeah, and it shows an example of a Mickey Mouse watch. So my guess is it's a curated store by them, at least at launch. Which makes sense for the launch of a product. I don't think you want developers out the gate.
Right.
Doing that.
Though it does... They do. I'm looking at the examples. It does seem like these things are pretty customizable, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I think you're right, though. I think it won't be a right away thing. Though this is probably something we could find out if we dug into like the developer docs, because I know they've released at least a preview version of the WatchKit APIs. But yeah. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Whoa, hold the phone. Literally, we're being joined right now by the one and only Daniel Miller.
Hi.
Hey, Dan.
Uh-oh. I think something's gone terribly wrong.
No, you look and sound fine, Colby. You there?
Yeah.
I can't see you.
You can't see me?
Oh, I made it come back. I must have touched something on Skype.
Oh, good Lord.
There's your mistake.
What's up, Dan?
Not much. I am delirious and exhausted, so it'll be a good episode.
Dan's
good second half.
You gotta slow down this rock and roll party lifestyle of yours.
Yeah, that's totally what it is.
That's yeah, I believe you.
So what are we talking about?
Well, we just finished up talking about custom faces on Android Wear watches.
Oh, cool.
Which is
you gonna pay $100 for your Rolex face?
Oh yeah, that's right, because the watch companies were threatening to sue people for using their kind of trademarked Rolex faces and stuff. I bet people would pay. I don't know about $100, but I think this. I mean,
we're talking about a $10,000 Apple Watch, so
yeah,
$100 for a fake Rolex starts to sound pretty good.
It does, and that was going to be kind of my next question. Was we saw articles this week, kind of saying Apple is targeting this as a fashion item. They're going to charge more. It's going to be more expensive. A, do you think that threatens the success of the Apple Watch? And B, when I hear that, I say Android Watch, the day of the Apple Watch announcement, Google holds an announcement, says Android Watch now works on iOS. That $200 to $100 price point, boom, they sell 1,000 of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that would be really, yeah. Do you really think they would do that, though? It's one of those things that almost makes too much sense, like HBO offering a la carte subscriptions.
Yeah. I think I would be surprised, but I would also be pretty tempted to get like a Moto 360 or something if I could use it with my iPhone. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a fair point, though, because like I feel like the usual cadence with stuff that Apple goes for is like you buy a phone and then in 2 years you buy a new phone.
Yep.
But if I don't know, like if you get a $10,000 gold Apple Watch, are you going to get that every I mean, I guess obviously if you have $10,000 to waste on a stupid watch, maybe your life is a little different than mine. But I don't know. It could be interesting. Then again, though, maybe it'll be the complete opposite. Maybe the fashion kind of like thing component will make it give it kind of a higher turnover. Like, I don't know. I wanted silver this year, but not next year.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think a lot of the nerds are going to get the cheap ones, and then not nerds are maybe going to get the more expensive ones. And maybe most people will get the cheap ones, like the plastic, whatever, the sport, is that what they call it?
Yeah. But even at $349, I feel like that's not cheap.
It's not cheap, yeah.
And the problem to me is not the fact they're charging $349 because Apple charges more for that for other products. It's not that. They haven't demonstrated the value yet to me. I get $500 worth of value out of my iPad. I get whatever my iPhone costs over 2 years worth of value out of it. I get $150 value out of the Pebble Watch I bought. I do not know how I could get $300 after I've already bought my iPhone. How I can get a minimum of $350 value out of an Apple Watch. I think that's, for me, the missing component, is if they can demonstrate it's worth $400, $500, $600, $700, they'll sell a lot. But I don't know if they can do that out the gate.
People also paid a lot of money for iPhones when they first came out.
Yeah, but I think, but
they didn't do much.
But they did enough. Having a web browser in your pocket, I think, justified the value.
Have you talked to people about the Apple Watch, like real people, though? I feel like
I don't talk to real people.
A good portion of real people I talk to are just they're really excited about it. Whenever they see an Android watch, they're like, "Oh, is that the new Apple Watch?" I think that for most people, the concept, just knowing that Apple is making a watch, they're already interested.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So if you can get them in the store and look at it, which I'm sure they would be more than happy to have you come in and look, maybe that's their plan. I think that'll work really well.
That's where Apple excels.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can all agree it's a big gamble for Apple.
I mean...
Well,
maybe. I don't know.
It's not going to bankrupt the company, but it certainly could. They've had a pretty good track record, and I think if this doesn't do gangbusters, I think there's going to be some amount of disappointment.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. Do you think it's going to be like... Do you think this will be another iPad? I mean, obviously it's not the iPad because this is not a first of its kind thing.
iPad wasn't first of its kind either.
That's true. Maybe it will be another iPad then. I don't know. The value is unclear to me. I think Sean, you of the three of us, you have a unique perspective in that you have some sort of wrist-based device.
Yeah.
In that you have a wrist.
Yeah.
Mugs for him.
Yeah, and I've said before how excited I was for the Apple Watch, and then they announced it, and I think there's way too many questions left. I think the January announcement is really going to make or break because there's a lot we don't know about it.
Yeah.
And it's the buzz leading up to that. What are the final prices? What is the battery life? What are the apps looking like? Things like that. That's really, I think, what's going to make or break it. And we'll hopefully have that sooner rather than later because it's exciting. Let's continue on to another story. I will jump in. And speaking of January announcements, January is an interesting month because we're just after the holidays. We have CES early in January, and a lot of companies are having announcements. We talked about Apple, but Windows on January 21st already has booked their announcement they're going to be announcing, we believe, Windows 10. Now, we've talked on the show previously about some of the features in Windows 10, but a leaked Windows 10 build this week revealed 2 new things. The first being Cortana voice assistant integration in Windows 10.
Now,
yes,
I have a serious question.
Okay.
This is I'm vaguely remembering something about the versioning, but we skipped Windows 9, right?
Yes, we went right from 8.1 to... Well, no, so here's what's going to happen. 8.2 is going to come out before 10. Then 10 will come out. Probably around this time next year.
Okay. They're announcing so early.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea being it's going to be such a big kind of overhaul that they want to get it in developer and beta hands early.
Huh. That seems terrifying. I don't understand. It seems like they're getting ahead of themselves. They're like, I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, I'm trying to think of a good parallel, and I can't think of one. But yeah,
what do you think is too far ahead, Colby?
Announcing something this year that's not going to be released for another year. Like announcing something right now that software, like a new OS that's going to come out next year. Like, that just seems insane.
No, that's the Microsoft way, though. I feel like they've always done that.
Oh.
Like sometimes you'd have to wait years before you get your Windows Longhorn article in your PC magazine, and then 3 years later, Windows Vista comes out, and you're all sad because there's no new file system. But
yeah,
I'm still waiting for the next operating system to come out with a new file system one of these days.
Oh, Microsoft.
Both OS 10 and Windows have failed me.
Give them time, Dan. They will disappoint. So Windows 10, we've got the announcement next month. Cortana included. It sits on top of the search interface for Windows 10, responding to text and voice commands, similar to what it is on Windows Phone, as we all know as Windows Phone users. Access.
Can you do hey, okay Google, hey Siri with Cortana? Can I just be sitting at my computer and talk to it? Because my computer's always on, more so than my phone or my tablet should ever be. So that would be really cool if you could just have your all-in-one PC in your house and just talk to it. It's sort of like the Amazon cylinder, except it's also a real computer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's this is a leaked build of an early build of a product that's not coming out for a year from now. So we don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if that were an available feature.
That'd be great.
Now, I will say, you can in Google Chrome turn on Always Listening on your desktop.
Oh, really?
I think you have to go into the Chrome settings and the developers. There's a way to do it, but I know I've tried it before, where you can do OK Google. I can't vouch for Siri on Mac as far as that goes. So we don't know a lot about it other than the fact it's included. You've probably seen the ads. Oh, you guys don't watch television. The ads Microsoft runs.
I watch football, so I've seen the Microsoft ads.
Where it's Cortana and Siri going head to head, and
Yes.
Seen the Windows Surfaces with the iPads in front of them on the announcers' desks?
Yes. Yeah.
I will say the Surfaces from behind look really striking on the football games. They do look really cool.
Yeah, those blue cases were a smart idea.
Yeah.
Really paying off for that very expensive sponsorship. I'll also add, in addition in this build, there's a new Xbox app. It includes access to your achievements, friend list, activity feeds, and the store. They expect it to include smart glass integration in the future, but it comes built in now. In addition to that, they've added a few other things. One I will note is that the Windows Store in Windows 10, which used to be only for buying and getting apps, now includes music, film, and television built into the single store in your OS, suggesting that Microsoft is getting closer to integrating Xbox Music and Xbox Video into the main Windows Store.
Cool.
The screenshots here for the Xbox app look a lot like Steam.
I will put it up on the screen for you at home to see. Yes. I don't play Steam, so I don't know. I'll have to take your word for it.
It looks good.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's pretty. I gotta say, if you take the sort of time to go through all the new UI stuff they're doing in 10, and there's a lot of it, it's really striking and really smart. I'm very excited for 10.
Yeah, me too. Actually,
Cool.
It should be fun.
Maybe they might make Surface converts out of us yet.
You never know. Very good. Let's continue on to another story. Anything in particular you gentlemen wish to...
Oh, let's talk about Facebook search.
Let's talk about Facebook search. Now, you may remember Facebook's big search announcement that didn't seem that long ago.
It was a couple of years ago.
It was something... Let me see on the date on this. I'll pull up the original announcement. This happened...
January 15th, 2013.
So... That's about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I got confused because January, December. I'm not that bright. Yeah, so it took 2 years. Mark Zuckerberg came out and said search was one of the big things that they were focused on, that search was going to change everything for Facebook. Well, it took 2 years today. This week, Facebook phased out Microsoft Bing from Graph Search. Now, again, I know this is something we all did all the time. Went on Facebook using the search bar to search for things outside of Facebook using Bing integration. I know, it was very common. They have phased it out, and now Facebook search only focuses on Facebook. Facebook also announced this week that Facebook search will now, you can now search past posts as well, which is something you couldn't do previously.
And I used today, and it worked great.
Oh my god, I'm really happy actually. There's still things that we're still like. I used to be able to I could do that while I was working there when I left, but it was not. I remember the first time I went to do it after I left, and I was crushed. That's exciting though.
I looked for videos that I was tagged in last April, and it worked. And I did posts that I posted last April, and it worked. It was great.
Nice. I was just searching for kicks. I found some cool old pictures of Dan that were funny from theirs.
Of me?
I don't know. I just searched for pictures of you, and there were a bunch of pictures.
Huh.
It's a little scary.
Yeah. Indeed. I can see everything you've ever done.
Any sort of questions or concerns over Facebook trying and failing at search? Or did they fail?
I mean, I don't think they failed. I don't think it changed Facebook, really, but the Facebook search was so bad before. It was the worst ever. You couldn't find anything. Like, short of going directly to someone you were already friends with his profile, you couldn't do anything with Facebook search. So I think it was successful in that. And I'm also kind of glad they got rid of the Bing results, because those were annoying. Like, if Facebook didn't find anything, I don't want to see anything. So I don't think they failed. Certainly didn't change the world though. But like, when you need it, it's pretty useful.
I will say the one thing that really bugs me about Facebook search, and I'm sure someone at Facebook is listening, is that...
Well, you used to be able to say that.
Yeah, now we have no power. I'll search for like a business, and right next to each other will be the business's actual Facebook page, and then that page Facebook auto-generates.
Yeah.
And I always click on the wrong one, which really... And I always like sit there for a minute, and I'm like, which is the right one? And it's like, well, this one says it's a business. This one has more likes. This one... And I always click on the wrong one. So I don't do that, Facebook.
Jeez.
That's... Shame on you.
No. Maybe it's your fault, Sean. You should be clicking on the other one.
User error? Yeah, it's always user error. Oh, with you developers, it's always user error.
Problem exists between keyboard and chair.
Yeah, okay. I see how it is. You're probably right, but... all right. Let's continue on with another story, which would be consoles. I want to talk about consoles.
I love consoles.
In the pre-show, Colby and I were chatting, and he brought up an interesting point, and I would like to discuss it. But first, let's talk numbers. We don't usually do a lot of sales numbers on the show, but we'll mention this because for the first time, the Xbox One outsold the PS4 in a single month. So 1.2 million sales in November for the Xbox One. It broke PS4's streak that it's held since it was launched. Especially interesting because this was in November, right before Christmas. So it will be interesting to see which sells more ahead of time.
Well, how far ahead is PS4 at this point, though?
Oh, in grand total?
Yeah.
It's a really good question.
I mean, the answer is still ahead.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It'll be really interesting to see at the end of the year because they're probably going to sell most of their consoles. Most of these companies' console sales haven't been reported yet, correct? Because it would be like Black Friday on.
I have no idea.
Sean, come on! You're supposed to know these things. You're the business guy.
I'm the marketing guy, Dan.
It's a business.
I'll tell you the thing. I can't account for what you paid for it.
No, but I mean, like, all of the numbers from November haven't been released yet.
Or these are the numbers from November.
These are the numbers from November.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's December 15th, so we know the November numbers.
All right. It'll be interesting to see what the December numbers are.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely agree.
And what do we think the reason for this surge in Xbox sales are? I have no idea. Was there a sale or something? Was there
a $50 across the board price cut?
Mm-hmm.
Sales tripled after that.
Which was on top of a price cut they had already introduced earlier in the year by cutting out the camera thing.
Yep.
The Kinect. Yeah.
And Dan, to answer your question, here you go. Xbox One hit 10 million sold in November. Okay. Mm-hmm. PlayStation 4 hit 10 million sold in August.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I don't know how much that rate continued, but that gives you some idea of the sales numbers.
Yeah, so PlayStation 4 is probably over 20 million at this point.
Especially with the holiday, it wouldn't be surprising. You know, like you said, I'm sure Black Friday the numbers were well.
Man, that's so many. That's way more than I would have expected.
Yeah. Well, I feel like now is about the time when people will actually start buying it because there are actually games to play now.
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many good ones. I don't even have enough time.
There are a bunch of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, there's no time. But.
So, go ahead.
Are real people still buying consoles? Is that what this means?
Yes.
Okay. I thought we had talked about on the show how maybe real people didn't buy consoles anymore.
Well, define real people. I mean, I
don't know. People who
do.
Yeah, I think
there aren't like 30 million active gamers in the world. Or in the United States or whatever this is, right? I wouldn't think unless there are. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm curious, like, I mean, there are a lot of
there are a lot of people under the age of 21, that is true.
Right. Who are, I feel like those are those people are gamers by default, kind of.
Really?
I think so. I don't think any kid doesn't want a PlayStation.
You know, and
the PlayStation people really love to hear you say that. That's any company's dream.
I think what's interesting is it wouldn't surprise me to find out these consoles tap a new market that past consoles didn't. That market of kids who are kind of gamers. I think I might fit into that category where I don't never play, you know? Yeah. And I think parents are buying it with the idea of, well, my kid will sometimes play games, but I can also watch Netflix on it. You know, the centerpiece of the living room device for sometimes gaming, I think, while not a huge part, certainly plays into these sales figures.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right in that it is a multi-purpose device.
It's sort of the high-end Roku, kind of.
Right.
It's a Roku, and it can do all these other things. So if you're a power user...
So when your kid really wants to play Call of Duty, despite the fact they play no other video games, you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget. I had something else to say, but I completely forgot what it was.
So disappointing.
Yeah. It was something about... Nope, I don't remember.
I do want to point out, and this may be of interest, 8th generation consoles, so the PS4 and the Xbox One and what have you, is... Oh, see, now I have to do math. God damn it.
Oh, no!
No!
It's all over.
Declined somewhere between 10 and 15% year over year.
Really?
Yes, despite the fact that they've been around longer and are now slightly cheaper.
What? Sorry, what declines 15% year over year?
PS4 and Xbox One and Wii U sales decreased somewhere between, depending on my math, 10 and 15% from November 2013 to November 2014.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So most people bought them last year.
So far.
Mm-hmm.
So far.
And that's in terms of dollars, mind you. That's not unit sales.
Oh, okay.
So, factor that in how you will.
Sure, that affects the Xbox numbers a lot then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's tough to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think this discussion will be more interesting after Christmas this year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Oh, so before the show, I remarked to Sean that sometimes I get sad that I got a PS4 instead of an Xbox.
Really?
Yeah, because I just wish the PS4 did other stuff. Like, I want it to do more stuff. Like, all I can do is watch Netflix besides. I don't know. And I don't know if this is any better on the Xbox, but for some reason I kind of assume there are more of the media apps on the Xbox. And
which media apps are you missing?
HBO Go and Prime.
Yeah, those are both on Xbox.
Yeah. Those are the other two that I use, and neither of them are on the PS4. And I do I don't know. At least they tried with the Media Center stuff. I don't know if it's good, but
I haven't heard of anyone using it. The only review I read was not impressed.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's a future there, but I want one thing that does all the things, so I don't have to press the source button on my TV's remote control. But I don't have that yet, so I just get sad sometimes. Other than that, though, I like the PS4.
I wonder why they don't have those two. Because Amazon, unlike Apple, doesn't seem to be in the business of restricting its content.
Right.
They never have been in the past. HBO Go has been much more reticent. HBO Go is on PS3, but is not yet on PS4.
Yeah.
They've
I
always
feel
been slow.
HBO Go came out on PS3 about the same time that the PS4 came out.
Right, yeah. And the Xbox One just got HBO Go? Wasn't that recently? I don't know.
I'm sorry, I was reading something. What'd you say?
The Xbox One just got HBO Go?
I don't think it was that long ago, but it's not.
The Amazon Fire TV just got HBO Go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I'll point out, Amazon Prime doesn't...
Oh, it was November 20th, 2014. HBO Go launches on Xbox One.
Yeah. I'll point out, Amazon Instant doesn't work on Chromecast either.
Or Apple TV.
Yeah, so Amazon does tend to be more selective.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wonder I don't know, are there other things at play? Is it that HBO or Amazon doesn't want to be on this device, or are there other things going on?
I mean, I could wildly speculate, and I will, that these companies do focus market research, and HBO has found out that only 3% of their subscribers own a PS4, but 20% own an Xbox or something. I guarantee they know those numbers, and they say we have so many resources, we're going to put them where our people are, and we'll leave off a certain percentage.
I also get the impression that HBO Go does not have the most, the largest or the most efficient engineering department. Based on the fact they just fired their CTO or something like that.
Well, what's interesting, he quit because HBO is hiring an outside company to build all their stuff for the new standalone service, and he got pissed and quit.
Right. And I know the way Netflix works for this stuff is Netflix, they don't have an open API. So whenever Netflix comes out on Apple TV or all these devices, all those companies also don't have open APIs. So those companies have to give some software development kit, some SDK to Netflix. And only when they get that can Netflix even start to write the client, which they also have to write themselves. And who knows what the process is for getting it approved. So it's not like releasing an app even on the Apple App Store. You can't even start writing it until you're already approved. And who knows what the process is for that. Maybe it's really egregious on PS4. Apple TV has been getting a lot better with that. Like every other week, it seems like they have a new channel on Apple TV recently, which has been crazy. That list on my thing is so long now.
Interesting.
So I hope that it'll get better. I'm really waiting for one of these things just to have an app store.
Roku.
Where is the PS4 app store?
Roku, Dan. Roku has an app store. A very good app store.
And you're right. Roku does have an open API. They're the only one, as far as I know.
Yeah. So, I agree. I think, I don't know, whatever the missing puzzle piece here where they're not getting this content. I mean, maybe they're just more focused on, we talked about the PS View over-the-air, the television service they're going to start offering. Maybe they're just more focused on that than they are on getting other content. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be. Who knows?
We'll just wildly speculate till the cows come home. I sound so Western. Let's continue on. Enough about consoles. We still have not decided who won the console war, but maybe we'll have to leave that for another day. Or maybe there just are no winners in war. Another story to talk about? Any particular pick, or we'll just grab one here?
HBO reiterated that HBO Go is set to launch on PS4 sometime later this year, and that was set on November 20th, 2014.
Wow, they did not give themselves a big time frame.
So if they said that then, you might be seeing it pretty soon.
Yeah, probably in time for it would probably be... So maybe this week?
Maybe.
Time's running out.
That'd be great.
Would be.
We'll have it in time for Game of Thrones, at least.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter because I can do it on my TV, but
defeats the purpose.
Right.
I mean, it would still be nice if one or the other had everything, but they don't.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm trying to organize these in my head. Let's talk about. I don't know. Some of these.
Here's what we should talk about. Did we talk about Skype translation yet?
No, we did not. We can talk about.
I was really excited about that.
Sure.
Oh, that does cool.
Yeah. So Skype announced a kind of plug-in for Skype, and here they have a cute little video with kids in a school, which I will go ahead and play for you.
Yay!
Yeah, it's nice. It's warm and fuzzy. Let me flip this over here so you get a taste of this, and I'll skip ahead to the actual.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Do you like living in Mexico City?
¿Te gusta vivir en la Ciudad de México?
Aquí está muy lindo.
Here is very nice.
What do you do for fun?
¿Qué haces para divertirte?
Voy a las playas de México.
I'm going to the beaches of Mexico.
I like to swim.
Me gusta nadar.
A mí también.
Me too.
You get the idea. It's a bunch of cute school children in Mexico and in the United States talking to one another, translating in real time. It's called Skype Translator, and right now it's just for English and Spanish, but what it does is it hears you talk, and then computer generates the translation immediately after you say it. It's the result of years of work from Microsoft's research team in Skype. It works on Windows 8.1 or preview copies of Windows 10, and like I said, English or Spanish only. It's currently marketing it towards schools, as that video showed, and it's tested it out with students in the US and Mexico. Microsoft is also translating instant messaging conversations through Skype Translator with more than 40 languages supported. If you're interested in testing this, you'll have to get an invite at Microsoft's Skype website and use a special registration code. So this is interesting to you, Dan. You find this appealing?
Yeah, this is the dream, the Star Trek communicator. And it's here. It works.
Well,
I'm not sure. I don't have a use for this, but I think it's really cool. But if there was something, like, I know Google Translate already does this, where you say something to it in one language and it can translate it for you. But that's too much work. I need something that's like, this is where Google Glass would be great, by the way. Is you're in a foreign country and it's showing you what people are saying around you. It's just always listening. It's always translating. You don't have to tell it when to translate. And Google Translate up until now has always been, translate this button, say the thing. This is always listening. It's really cool. That's why I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it is pretty impressive. Like, that's some future shit right there.
I am absurdly skeptical. There is no way this works. I'm just not, like, I'm sure it works like 70% of the time, but
yeah,
I can't, I don't know. Maybe I'm a skeptical person in general, but I want this to work. I think it's a cool theory. I'll believe it when I see it, not in some overly produced marketing video, you know?
Right.
Like the Amazon drone.
Yeah, exactly. Great in theory, great on paper. Glad they're working on it. Glad to see Microsoft doing cool stuff. I'll give Microsoft Research a ton of credit. They always are pumping out really crazy cool things. The problem is we almost never see them again. So I'd like to see this sort of roll out more broadly. But Skype Translator Preview, you can try and get into the beta now if you have a Spanish-speaking friend. Or an English-speaking friend if you speak Spanish. We have a lot of fans in Mexico, so.
Thank you, Facebook.
Yep, so I don't know. Maybe you can plug our show in and it'll translate in real time. I don't know. To give it a shot. Very good. Let's, how are we doing on time? We got time for, why don't we do a lightning round? We haven't done a lightning round in a while. Because a couple of these stories you can talk about very quickly, right? So I'll describe the story. Couple quick comments and we'll move on. You ready for the lightning round?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with Amazon Kindle. Kindle released an update today to their iPad app that now, for the first time in a long time, allows you to get new apps in the book, but you can't buy them still because of restrictions on iOS. However, if you are a Kindle Unlimited user, you can now browse and download the free included books on your iPad without having to go to the Amazon website. The update also includes Goodreads integration, the book reading social networking site that Amazon purchased. You can now post directly from within the app.
That's great. I haven't played around with it yet, but I'm really excited.
Are you going to try Kindle Unlimited?
No. Maybe they've added more books. I'm not excited about Kindle Unlimited. I'm excited about Goodreads, which I do use. And I get a lot of value out of that. My friends who read books, it's good to know what they're reading. When they write a review, I get all of them as a notification so I can see what my friends think of a book, and I've found a lot of good books that way.
That's cool. So recently I was trying to decide on a new book and I didn't know what to do. I know, like, I don't hear about books except from you, Dan. Which is not necessarily bad. That's your book advice has been quite solid.
I
but
agree.
Like you weren't immediately available when I wanted to find a new book.
We need Dan on demand.
Yeah, I might have to sign up for Goodreads.
Yeah, I have an account. I feel like I'm going to use it a lot more if it's built right in.
Yeah, I would love to read your reviews of these crazy, like, company Genesis storybooks that you read. Those
Yeah.
would probably be really entertaining.
We'll have to put together a Don't Panic group and share have a book club. Because we do pick a lot of books on the show.
Yeah.
Let's continue on the lightning round. Amazon is now selectively rolling out the option for you to negotiate the price you pay on an object. Now, this may be familiar to anyone who uses the best offer option on eBay. Amazon's calling it Make an Offer. And it's not an auction format. The way it works is you just put in the price you want to pay. They will counter back. You can go back and forth till you settle on something and you buy it. That's pretty much it. It's limited right now to select collectibles and fine art. So you won't be able to do this on common everyday items, but it does introduce a new way for Amazon to sell you things. Are you guys excited about Amazon negotiating?
No, I wonder if this is bigger in other countries than the U.S. Because negotiating in general, culturally, is not something that people do in the United States, but it's much bigger in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. That could be.
But there's no mention of that in this article, Sean. I haven't read it. I'm sorry.
No, it's a very short article.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I know the problem is the way I use Amazon is for stuff that costs what it costs and is sold by large companies who aren't going to negotiate, right? That's
Right.
why when I did buy stuff on eBay, I did best offer all the time. I don't want to bid. I don't want to wait. I don't want to constantly...
You can buy it now.
And a lot of times it wasn't an option. And especially when I sold stuff, I always did a best offer option. Because then you don't have to wait. And if you don't like the price, you just turn it down or counter.
Huh.
I think
I didn't know you could do that on eBay.
Yeah, it's a really great option. If you ever are looking for stuff on eBay, I always recommend looking at best offer options because usually the prices aren't bad and these people will haggle, but you don't have to go through the whole bidding process.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's just not the way I use Amazon. So we'll have to see how that changes in the future.
Yeah. No, I don't use Amazon either. I mean, I use Amazon for things I could buy in the store, but instead I'd rather not go to the store and have it brought to my house for $0.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's pretty cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's it. That concludes the lightning round. Ding, ding, ding.
Woo-hoo.
Yes, indeed. That is it for the news, and we are going to move on to our picks this week, and it looks like we have yet another full slate. My goodness. It's always a lot. For picks, I want to remind everyone, all our picks are on our website, don'tpanic.io. You can click on any show. The picks are right there with links, and it shows our little picture next to who picked it, so it's a lot of fun. Let's start. I will jump in and go first, because why not? I thought Dan would need more time, but he didn't, but that's okay. I'll go anyway. I have two picks, but the first one is really a reminder more than it's a pick. In case you've been living under a rock, this coming week is Stephen Colbert's last week on the Colbert Report. Now, if you didn't watch any of last week's shows, go back and watch him. He is on a fantastic end streak of episodes. He had Barack Obama on. He did a great interview with Smaug from Lord of the Rings, which was really cool. So he's there. The funniest he's ever been. This is his last week now. Thursday is his last show. So a friendly reminder, set your DVR, go on Hulu, what have you, and check out the final episodes of the Colbert Report before he retires and moves on to the monolith CBS and The Late Show. But for my actual pick, once again on a technology program, I'm going to pick a piece of media. Actually, I picked two pieces of media. And I'm going to pick a new television show. This show, I want to say, has taken the mantle for my favorite new animated show. And if you haven't seen it, it is on Adult Swim. Its second season premieres in, I believe, January. And it is Rick and Morty is the name of it. And I've got the Blu-ray copy right here. I loved it so much I bought the Blu-ray. I know, right? People still do that. I know, but it's really good. And it's a fantastic take on and they're pretty blatant about it, the take on the Doc Brown, Marty McFly relationship of the kind of weird, crazy scientist, and for some reason this kid who just goes along with these stupid plans. It comes to you from, you may know Dan Harmon from the Sarah Silverman Show and Community. and Justin Roiland, and they did the show for Adult Swim. They did, I think, 12 episodes in the first season. I highly recommend it. I crack up laughing. It's very well done, very smart, and something I hadn't seen before in shows. So it doesn't remind me of Family Guy or of any type of show. I think it's very unique in what it does, and it's very funny. If you want to watch it, it's on reruns on Adult Swim. It's not streaming anywhere in its entirety, which is really disappointing. That's one of the reasons I got the Blu-ray, but AdultSwim.com has select episodes if you're interested there, or you can purchase them as well. So Rick and Morty on Adult Swim is my pick. New episode Season 2 coming early next year. Highly recommended. Okay.
Sweet.
Something more television to watch as if we needed more. Let's continue on to Dan Miller.
So there's this really great website, NYC Basic Etiquette and Tips, and it's at wisebread.com/NYC-basic-tips-and-etiquette. There's also a book, which we might link to instead of the website. Website's kind of cool, though, because it also has animated GIFs. So these are just really funny things that are totally true. How to get along in New York. When is it okay to take a seat in the subway? And it's like, if there's an old lady, don't do it. If there's a pregnant lady, don't do it. If it's, don't put your bag there. Things that seem like common sense, but sometimes people don't realize. Always ask people if they're in line in a nebulous queue situation, which sounds more British than it does in New York. It's really cool. There's also a book which I bought and makes a great gift for a New Yorker or an aspiring New Yorker. A great coffee table book. It's a little small thing. It's like $15. Really well done. So check it out. Link on the website.
Awesome. I love that. That's so funny. I was cracking up just scrolling through it quickly.
I would say a solid 40 or 50% of those are applicable to any city or situation.
Or even just life.
Yes.
Like number 76, no one has to take your order while you are on the phone.
Yes.
Very true. Very true.
Yep. So one thing I have noticed is people in Boston tend to be less diligent about the not trying to get on the train while people are getting off the train. I don't know. I think it's because the subways here are much less just everything about them is less punctual than the subway in New York. There is no sense of efficiency or urgency. If you're there, you're relatively confident that the train will not leave without you. So there's no rush. Whereas in New York, it's pretty unapologetic. If you don't get on it, the doors are going to close and you lose.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's a bummer, but I like that. I've seen that before, and it's pretty awesome.
Very good. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan. Let's continue on to Colby, who has a pick I am looking at and I'm absolutely fascinated by, so I'm dying to hear more.
So I'm Wait.
You are pausing. You're stalling.
So I'm not sure which one Sean is talking about, but I'm gonna go with the one I think he's not talking about, which is it's an update to a previous pick I had, which was for that app called Transit, which was kind of a public transportation thing. But this one's called City Mapper, and it's like Transit except a million times better. So try it. That's really all I have to say. It's not worth explaining, but it's just it's customizable, and it shows you I don't know, Transit kind of just shows you stuff, whereas this kind of lets you tell it what you want to see at any given time, which I appreciate. And then there's way more. There's a lot more information, and it also gives you advisories. So for example, if your line in Boston is fucked up for whatever reason, it has the warnings right on the screen, which is super cool. So I'm all about that. I'm pretty excited I only just discovered it this weekend, so I haven't used it in practice for work, but we'll see how it goes. And then, so my other pick. So I have my basically the only thing I use my iPad for nowadays is listening to podcasts and music. Like, it's basically like my radio that I connect to my Bluetooth speaker and play music in my apartment. So I was kind of thinking about, like, it for a while it just kind of floated around, like it would be in a random place and I'd have to find it. And I don't know if either of you remember this, but at one point in college I had like these like command hook things that were like basically iPad holders, and I stuck it to my wall. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll do that again, because that was kind of nice. Because it was nice to have like a place to put it, because I'm never using it. Like, I don't need it near me. So I needed a place to put it. And in looking through for these, I stumbled across this thing. I think on Amazon. If I was just searching for the same thing I was using before. But it's called MagBack, which is like the name basically says it all. It's like these magnetic strips that you stick to the back of your iPad. And they're like, they feel kind of like the material that the smart cover is made out of. And they're pretty small, and they go, I don't know, they go in the middle. Like, there's this guide thing that helps you stick them on, but they're kind of like where your hands go. So they're kind of a nice like grip thing too, which is interesting side effect. But they're basically just, there's magnets in this padded strip thing that you put on the back, and they're super strong. So now my iPad is stuck to the fridge, and it's amazing. It's the best ever. Like, I always kind of joked about, like, I feel like, you know, fridges with Twitter on them was something I always made fun of, but I have podcasts on my fridge, and it's the best thing ever. And it was super easy. Like, I didn't have to stick anything to the wall, and it didn't. I was worried. I was like, the magnets don't, like, they're tiny. They're like little. I was like, is this going to work? Like, when I put it on the first time, I was like being really careful, and then it was like, ka-chunk. And it is very solid. So it's pretty cool. It also comes with these two like sticks with like command strip sticky stuff. So if you don't have a fridge or you want to put it somewhere else, you could put it somewhere else. But the fridge, it's been great on the fridge for me. It was a little bit expensive. It was like $30 or $40 or something, but I think it was totally worth it.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
Yeah,
oh yeah, great. Yeah. It's $40. So it's not nothing for its size. That seems expensive, but for the functionality, it's pretty badass.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that is MagBack. They have a terrible URL, so I recommend just going to our website, and the link will be there in the show notes. Very good. Wow, we had a real A+ picks this week.
Mm-hmm.
I am thoroughly impressed.
Thank you.
I wasn't talking to you, Dan. No, I'm just kidding. Very good, gentlemen. That's the end of the show.
Woo!
That's it. We did it. Dan made it, which was we were worried.
Yeah.
We had to go the first. You
about
missed
to pass out, but I did make it.
You missed the witty opening, but that's all right. You'll just have to watch the episode to find out what it was. Who was Colby the blank of this week? Well, have to wait and find out. Well, we're glad Dan Miller was here, and we're glad all of you out there with us as well. As we said before, we do a show every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, on our website when YouTube Live is working. You can also get past episodes there, audio, video, the whole 9 yards. coffeeandbeer.tv/giveaway for the sticker packs. And, are you ready? I want to tease the next 2 weeks of Don't Panic, because we've got 2 special editions coming up. Are you guys excited about this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I am so excited.
Because we thought about it. We don't want to miss any episodes over the holidays. Now, we have lives, right? And families and such, or at least you guys do. And so we said, there's not a lot of tech news. We want to come up with a good way to generate content. So we're going to do 2 special shows over the next 2 weeks. So on December 22nd, we're going to do a year in review / prediction show. So we're going to look at last year's predictions and see how well we did. And I will pull the clips. So it'll be interesting. Do you guys remember what you predicted?
No, I don't.
I don't
I'm
at
kind
all.
of nervous about it.
Yeah, we'll have to go back, make sure it informs, because we're going to do predictions for next year, so we got to do better than we did last year. And we're also going to talk about our favorite / biggest stories of the year in 2014. So a year in review and some predictions. It'll be a fun episode to reminisce and look forward to the future. And then the week after that, which is December 29th, we are doing a best of picks episode. So we're each going to go through and take a couple of our picks from over the entire year, the ones we decided were our absolute favorites, and we're going to put together a special package just for you of some great holiday gift ideas after Christmas has happened, of some of our favorite things that we picked over the year. It's our best of picks. That's going to be on the 29th. So, and then we'll be back on the 5th with a regular, brand new episode. Whew. It's a big plan, but it's exciting. So keep an eye out in your feed. I'm certainly excited. Very good. Well, that concludes it for tonight, unless you gentlemen have anything else. Nope.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I think Dan looks like he's about to fall asleep. I don't blame him. I'm not far behind. So why don't we put you out of your misery, and we'll conclude the show for now. And we'll see you all next week on a brand new episode of Don't Panic. Good night.
Bye.
This show is brewed fresh weekly by the Coffee and Beer Podcast Network. Get all our shows at our website, coffeeandbeer.tv.